Hello and welcome to a showcase video in which I'm gonna show you the new game that I actually made pretty quickly during the day. I got a really idea basically in my dream. Uh, there is a BGG post on the forum if you're interested to read about it. I can actually put a link in the description. But this is a trick kinda laying card game with where you need to collect points and whoever has the most points in the end of the game wins. It's a simple, like a kind of filler type of a game, and it's pretty quick. So I guess you can play like best of three to when you're playing like two players or three players. It's kind of best play with two. You can always also play with three, but because I used the limitation from one of the contests when you can only use like 54 cards. The lower number of cards kinda it's not good. I mean, you can play with three players, but it's just gonna be shorter and it's really tight game that way. I wouldn't recommend with the four. I mean, maybe it can be played with the four. I didn't test it, but it's gonna be really hard with the cards. So what we have here are these little like prices for each of the cards, and these cards actually represents, if we're gonna go with the team, we can say that these represents those wallpaper types that Japanese people use in their homes. Those like on sliding doors, and we basically trying to make a house placing these wallpapers all around it. So these are the six basic motifs. And besides this, we actually can show you, this is the main deck. Besides this, some of these cards are like torn wallpapers. Some of them has these little like dragon stamps with the wax. Those are cards that can be used as for, they have special properties. Then there are cards that actually have like three types of different motifs on them. We also have these cards that have only two types, split by diagonally, and normal cards that just like, nothing special about them, they used. So these are the basic cards. I'm gonna put this into one drawing deck. So how the game works, I'm gonna go through the setup and then I'm gonna explain going through a few turns. I'm gonna play like two-player game alone, just showing you the game. So first of all, we're gonna take all of these single colors. We're gonna shuffle them and then randomly spread from left to right, like this. So this will actually give us their values, the prices for each of these wallpapers. As you can see, the green is now worth 2 points, blue also 2, and these ones are 3, and the whites are kind of really expensive, they are 4. But this is not just the prices, this is basically the number of pieces you need to build inside a little mosaic in the center of the table. You'll see how that works to be able to score those points. So how the game works, after we do this, we will shuffle this deck and each player will get 4 cards. So let's do that. I'm gonna play open-handedly just to show you. Usually these cards are hidden in your hand, so other players don't know what you actually have. Alright, so these are my starting cards, and these are for the, let's say, other player. So the game starts, well, usually the player who was doing some renovating in the home start first, let's say that was me. So the game starts. I always on my turn need to play one card in the mosaic in the center, so I'm gonna basically start the mosaic, and then I need to choose one of these cards to put in my scoring pile. Now I can either take one card from my hand or random, basically top card from the deck, which I can't see. So sometimes it's depending on the situation, you might want to do just that and not place it straight from the hand. But if we look here, we see that these whites are really expensive. So, and the reds and these like bricks, they're also can give me 3 points. So this is a really good card to have in my scoring pile. You'll see why. So I might want to start my little mosaic with one of these, either this one or this one, like singular colors. Now I can't place this in mosaic. This is a special type of a card. It has a special properties that can only be activated when I have to follow the, basically when I have to play it, I can also activate. You'll see how that works. You'll probably get in that situation. So right now I have to choose either this one or this one because I really want this to have in my scoring pile. So let's start actually with this. Now I can place this like this or like this. You can't place it diagonally, basically, either like by the longer or the shorter side. So let's say I want to place it like this. So that's the start of my mosaic. And next card I want to place is my scoring pile, which we keep separate besides you, and it's always face up, so you can always see what's on the top. I'm gonna place this into my scoring pile. Once I do that, I'm gonna get 2 cards in my hand, draw back to 4, and that's the end of my turn. Alright, so it's next player's turn. So what the next player has to do, and actually he must have do that, he has to follow the same motive. Okay, so if we look his hand, like now, he only have 1 card that can follow this motive. This is one of these cards with this little stamp. Now in the, let's say, let me check something. Alright, so let's say he actually didn't have, he wasn't able to follow the motive. He has something like this. As you can see, no color that can actually play. Well, when this happens, he have to take one of his cards from his hand and place it here in this display. And it must be placed over the same type of motive. So for instance, I can take this card and place it over this or over this, because you see this motives following this half and the blue following this. So I can choose where I want to place it. Once you place it above like this, now the blue and these motives are worth 3. In which case this is not anymore option. Basically it got a new price, so you just flip the card like this. So we know the singular blue right now worth a 3, and singular of these also worth a 3. So I can do that if I want to, or maybe if I really want to increase this the cost of the blue, red and white, I can place it like this. So now the blue, red and white is gonna cost 4, but also to be able to score I will need at least 4 cards on the table that are connect of the same color, making one big pattern. So that's going to be really hard to score. Alright, so just explaining what you can do if you don't have a card. So after I placing it here, I would draw a new card, and then if I can follow it, I would continue doing my turn. So that's one thing you can do. But my hand was like this. I actually have a card that can be played. Now about these dragon cards. They also have some special abilities. And let me explain how this works. So you can play these special ability cards only when you actually have the card on the table that you have to follow with the same motive of that card. So right now I can activate this ability if I want to. And I can do 2 things. I can either just play it in the mosaic as always, in which case it wouldn't do anything special, or I can actually place it over the same card of that type in this display, but taking the card below, so it would go like this. And then from my hand I can continue following the mosaic and placing one in my pile for scoring. Now I would actually do this, and I'll explain why. Because these dragon type cards, you can also place them in the mosaic without need to actually follow the correct motive. So this could, for this instance, be placed here because it has a stamp on it. So I can actually use this white to place it in here if I want to. And I would probably do that, and I'll explain why. So let's say I'm going to connect this white here. I can do that because, as I said, the stamps can be placed in mosaic even if you don't have the correct colors. They don't actually become this type of color, they just can be placed here because of the stamp. And then I'm going to put this into my scoring pile. So what I just did right now is the moment I place the stamped card in the display, this is not anymore 3, this is actually 5. Now it's gonna give me 5 points, but I still only have to need 3 of them connected in one pattern. You'll see how that works. But so this only increases the points, but not the number of cards that need to connect to each other. So, and right now I'm kind of leading, because if we would do scoring right now, and if I actually have, pattern here, I would get 5 points. From now I probably want to actually place more of cards of these types to actually form a pattern that has like 3 of these motifs. Another thing, whenever you play the card that has a stamp, so besides that it can be placed beside other cards even if it's not the same motif, card in the mosaic is actually like 2 cards. So if we check here whites, we need 4 of them, making a pattern to actually be able to score later once we also have them in our scoring piles. So right now I have 2 of them. So if I connect, or another player connect 2 more whites, he would be able to score from them later on. So this will allow easier scoring with the whites. Alright, and now normally I get 2 new cards. And we proceed playing. So let's see what else I can do. Alright, so as you can see, this player just played the white, and you can actually see that I don't have any white cards in my hand. So I would need to play 1 card in this display here. So I'm thinking like this. Looking at my cards right now, I really like whites, reds, and these bricks, but we don't have any of them right now. So let me think. I can't play these ones for their special ability yet, because they actually need to follow the motif to be able, just like these stamp cards, when you want to do their special ability, putting them in display, they need to follow the motif. But eventually I will be able to use them, and then I can actually tell them how they work. Well, I'm thinking, well, maybe right now I can do this. So I'm gonna do this, although it's not good at this part of the game, just to tell you what these torn wallpapers also can do. So as you know, I need to put it in display, and it needs to follow the motif. So I actually need to place it here over this card. Okay, so placing it there, I will take the card below. Oh wait, no. When placing above, you don't take the card below. That only happens when you placing the stamps. So placing it here, what will happen is now all the green cards doesn't have any value. Now this could change during a game. If someone plays the green again over this, we can flip this back. But right now the greens, when you have the, well, you don't actually have to flip it, but I'll do it usually to just, know it's now worth 0. So all the greens will not worth anything during this game. Okay, I get a new card. Alright, so interesting that this happened. So right now, again, I can't play anything in the mosaic, so I will have to do basically the same. So let me think. I need these in reds, so I'm gonna place over the green, which will bring it back to its value, and I'm gonna get a new card. Oh, alright. So right now I actually can play this, because even it's not the correct color, since I can play it, I have to play it. So let's see. Because as you know, the dragons can be placed in the mosaic even if you don't follow the correct color. That's the one thing they can also do. So let's place, let me check. So yeah, let's place it like this. And then I'm gonna place one in my discard pile. Now I don't want to place these cards. You'll see why. Because once in your scoring pile, they're actually only 1 point. So I think I'm gonna add another red. Actually, no. I'll go random from the top of the deck. Let's see, maybe I get lucky. Okay. Alright, not that lucky. Oh yeah, then I have to discard one of these cards. Maybe not such a good idea. Let's do the red. Because you can always need at least 2 cards in your hand. Alright, that's gonna be that. Alright, back to this player. So, since I played red, he will need to continue with the red. And he might do something like this. Let's see, something like this. And place this into his scoring pile and get the 2 cards. Okay, it's back to me. So now I can play, I have to play the red or green. Again, I don't have any, but I have these cards. So I can't activate a special ability because they are neither red nor green, but I can place them because they can be anything right now if they have a stamp. Alright, so if I remember correctly, I probably need this connected to here. Alright, and I'm gonna place this one and get 2 new cards. Ooh, so many of these ones. Alright, so it's next player. Next player can play this or this. They're kind of the same. So let's say he's gonna play it like this. And he's gonna put also 1 red here. Alright. Right, since he played the blue and this, I can actually activate special ability on this card. So I really wanted to show you how this works. You can do that because you need to follow the motive, and I have a blue thorn and he did play one of the blues. So how this works is like this. I give him my thorn card. I take his top card from his scoring pile and take it into my hand. And then continue playing. So basically this is how you can take some of his cards into your hand and maybe turn it back into your pile. As you can see, now you can't do the same activity twice during a turn. Like for instance, I still have this card, I can also use it. It's impossible. So, but I need to continue following. Now, this doesn't go to the motif, so I have to place this one. So knowing that I need 3 reds here, I'm probably gonna place this like this. And from right now, if you check these cards, you need 3 of them connected, and these 3 form a little like a body here. You can see all 3 are connected. So from now on, if I have these cards in my pile, and I have at least 1, and if I remember, I think I have at least 1 more. Each of them is going to give me 3 points in the end of the game. Alright. And now I have to place 1 in my pile. Now I can place these ones, but as I said, they're only worth 1 point. I probably... I want to keep red to No, I'm gonna try maybe to continue with the placing the red. Okay, I'm hoping the other guy is gonna, make something with red. All right, so I play this, and he had to follow it. He has a card that can actually be used. So let's say he's gonna do it like this. All right. So we already have two cards connecting with the blue. So now the blue is also going to score. Okay. And since he played the blue, he's gonna do a little combo. Check this out. He's gonna use his special ability card, place it in the display, increase its value to 4, and then he's gonna place this card into his, it goes into his hand, and he's gonna place it into his scoring pile. So his 4 points are now sure to, he's gonna have them at the end of the game for sure. All right. Since he played the blue and this, well, I can activate my special ability now. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take his card, place it on top on my hand, give him this torn one, and then sadly I have to play it here, but at least he's not gonna get those cards to score. And I'm gonna put what do I want? I'm gonna put this one actually. It's maybe not a good move, but I don't know what right now is it gonna pay off, like if we ever gonna get like 4 of the whites. Doesn't seem so. All right, so now this guy knows I play the blue. He doesn't have any blue, but he can play this. He had to. So he's gonna play it here. Now, as you know, these cards actually are like 2 cards, which means this big body here actually have 2, 4, 5, 6 cards. That's more than 3, so we're gonna definitely be scoring from this pile. And if he places it here, now that's 2 cards and 2 cards, that's 4. So now the white are also going to score. So he's gonna do that, and looking at this, this is a good card to have. I think he's gonna place red here. Yeah. All right. So he played the white. I need to follow with the white. I'm actually gonna do something like this. No, like this. Yeah. Now, these two are not connected because they are like on diagonal. But if they were like this, also they are not connected. You actually have to have at least one side, at least 30% of the side, connected to the color. So maybe something like this or this. So if I place it like this, the greens are not connected right now. Really important rule. All right, and I'm gonna place one white into my scoring pile because now the white are gonna give us 4 points for each. All right. So he must follow with the white or the green. He actually have a really good green. So he's going to place it. Let me check. Maybe like well, it seems he will have to place it like this. Yeah. And he's gonna put the green. Actually, he's going to put the red. Yeah, he's gonna put the red. Alright. Okay, back to me. So, I can't follow here or here because I can't put the cards over other cards. So actually, I'm limited. I have to follow with the red one. Well, lucky for me, I have a red one. But also I can play this if I want to, because this can be anything. But I want to actually keep this blue, because blue are now worth 4. So I'm gonna place this red like this. And I'm gonna place this into my scoring pile. Okay, let me make some adjustments. Alright. And let's see. We are nearing the end of the game. I really also want to show you how the scoring works. Alright, so the other player, since I played this, and he has a card that can activate, he will activate this, and you know how it works. I'm gonna take my blue into his hand. And then he has to follow with this color, but right now, one more important rule, he can place it here or here. He just needs to follow the color, connect to that color. So he might want to do something like this. Yeah. And then he's gonna place this blue into his collection, of course. Alright. My turn. So he played this, but I also can play green or blue. Actually gonna... Well, I can see his card, but let's say I don't know what cards he has. So I would probably maybe go like this here. And then place another blue into my scoring pile. Alright, so this will be almost the last turn. So he needs to follow up. Let's say he's gonna go here, and he also gonna place blue and take 2 cards. So we're gonna have the even number of turns. So now we can't get any more cards, which means I'm gonna play 2 of my cards, he's gonna play 2 of his cards, and that's gonna be end of the game. We don't play all the cards, just 2, because basically if you can't replenish, you just other players finish their turns to have equal number of turns, and that's the end of the game. So in this case I need to follow up with this. I can actually do that. I'm gonna place it here. Also I can place it here. But I don't want to. You'll see why. So I'm gonna place it here. And I can't remember how many greens do I have. Actually I'm gonna place this into my discard pile. And now he's gonna play his last turn. He's gonna place this one here, and then he's gonna put one of these 2, but can't remember which one is better. Probably with this one with the white. Alright, and that's gonna be the end of the game. The rest of the cards you're gonna discard, and now the scoring is gonna happen. So how the scoring works? Okay, let's start with me. You're gonna take all the cards from your scoring pile, and then you're gonna score. Okay, these are all the cards. Alright, so let's start from left to right. So the greens, we first check, do we have how many these little like territories of the green we have. This is only 1, so that's nothing, but here we have like 3 of the green connecting to each other. We needed 2 to connect to start scoring, so the green actually is going to worth 2 points. And if you check my cards, I don't have any green. So as for the green, I have 0 points. Actually, let me quickly put my tools so I can actually write it down. So the green for me is 0 right now. Let's see the blue. So the blue, because of the stamp, are actually worth 4 points. That still means you only need 2 to connect to start scoring. So as we can see here, we have 3 of them connected. So this one blue that I have is going to be 4 points. So the blue is going to be 4. These, let's call it tartan style. We needed 3 to connect. We actually have 2 here, 1 here, so that's nothing. But here we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards that are like connected. So these are scored. So this is also plus 2 points. So there are 5. And if we check, I actually have only this one. Now these torn ones will not give me full amount of points. They're only going to give me 1 point because they are torn. So these ones right now, let's call them tartan, only 1 point. So I did really poorly in this game. So let's see this like a brick ones. Alright, so we have enough of them connected. So I would get 3 points for each of them I have. I have 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be, let's say bricks, it's going to be 9 points. Alright. Red ones, I have 1, 2, 3 red. And if we check here, they only score if we have a body of 3. This is worth like 2 cards. This is 1, so we have 1 body of 3. Here it is. So I'm gonna have 3, 3, and 3, another 9 points. All right. And lastly, white. Now the white, as we can see, have a big body here of them. So they are 4 points, and I have 1, 2 complete cards. I mean that are not torn. So that's gonna be 8 plus 1. That's another 9 points. So my score right now is 27, 28, 32. Right? Yeah. 9 multiplied by 3 is 27. Plus 1 is 28. And plus 4 is 32. So that's my points. Alright. That's how I did in this game. Not so good because you can also score larger amount of points. Let's see how this player has done. Oh, I see a lots of blues and reds, but he also have lots of torn cards. So, all right. So let's start with him. The green cards, interestingly, he doesn't have any green cards. So same for me. The green cards for him are 0. All right. The blue cards that are actually worth 4 points. He has 1, 2, 3. Now the stamps in your scoring pile doesn't mean anything. That's like a normal card. So he has 3 of them. Multiplied by 4, that's 12. Plus 1, that's 13. So the blue, he already had 13 points. Wow. Right, with these tartan ones, he has only 1 of them. So he's gonna get 5 points. Brick ones, he has 1. That's gonna be 3 plus this one torn one. That's gonna be 4 points. Yeah. Red ones, they are worth 3. He has 1, 2, 3. That's 9 plus 1. That's 10. Wow. And the white ones, he has 2 of them, each are worth 4, so that's 8 points. So let's see. That's 23 plus 9 plus 8, so this is 17. Yeah. So that's 10, he has 40 points. He kind of destroyed me this round. Interestingly enough. So that's how the game works. After the scoring, we can play another 2 rounds, and the best of 3 is basically your like a who is the winner of the game, because games are going really fast once you know how they work. Due to my poor memory, and I didn't pay, I was more paying attention to this deck because it's really hard to play it with the 2 hands, and I probably played too much for this player to do his stuff easier. Basically, I play into his hands, but once you don't know the cards and you are kind of forced to do some things, it's completely different. As you can see, the price has changed here, and I probably would, maybe if I play better, if I play one of those torn cards over these ones just to mess him up, could probably work better for me. But anyway, 32 against his 40, that's 8 points of difference. I guess really depends if you focus enough and if you do stuff better, if you do combos better. Still not a big difference. As you can see, the game is quite easy to teach. Only thing that you need to learn is how these dragon and these torn cards work, and if you pay a good attention what other player is doing, and if you use your torn cards maybe to sometimes lower the values he was trying to go for, could work better. Also, as I said, playing these cards can really make a big change in the display, because like if you play this here, now the blue, red and the white are all 2 points, which means this is the new like display and how it works. So anyway, I'm gonna play a game probably tomorrow with my sister. You'll see how it works with 2 players when we are both focused what we're doing, and we'll see. So far the game is showing potential. It's kind of working for the something that I just dream of to thinking, like I just wrote it down, the stuff that I dream in my dream, and explanation how it works. So for something like that, it's kind of scary that it's working like completely out of the box. And I mean, this is a game made under 24 hours. I just found these images and was thinking how to use them, and then I dreamed like how it should work. In any case, thanks for watching. As I said, we're gonna play a game with my sister. We're gonna see how that's gonna work tomorrow. And yeah, I need to write the rules, and I don't know, maybe I need to change something, but I don't know yet. I need to do lots of play testing and see how it's balanced and what's happening and stuff. But looking right now, it's kind of simple filler game like it should be. 54 cards, pretty cheap and easy to make. I think it's best play with 2. Maybe it's best play with 3. I didn't try it with 3 yet, but I know it could work. I mean, I was doing like with 3 hands, but it's really hard when you play testing alone. I need to find people and play it with 3. So yeah, thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode. Goodbye.